Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a very long time since I've actually been on this channel, like about a year and a half, and I thought that I'd put up my first video as my explanation of where I've been, what's been going on with my life. I didn't talk much in this video. I did touch upon a few things here and there, but just about. I hope this video is going to be shorter than I expect it to be, and let's just jump right into it. Sorry about the lighting, I know it's very crappy. Literally trying my best to actually make it work, but I don't think it is actually properly working. Right, we'll see how this goes anyways. I might as well start explaining where I've been. I actually, there's nothing really happened on to explain where I've been. I've literally just been around. I haven't been doing that well mentally. That's why I kind of stopped on filming YouTube videos. I felt like they were really kind of draining me. Like I wasn't getting the same joy that I was when I started, and even at that I did kind of start my YouTube when not being in a great place, and so in that sense YouTube definitely helped me to feel better and to be more inspired and to do all of these things. So I loved that, and at some stage it just even making a video it made so much, for me it felt like so much effort, and all these things just kept going wrong. Like my phone, I had my phone for 4 years or 3 or something along those lines, and I tried to film on it and the last couple of times, and then it automatically cut the video really, and I couldn't get my video to properly work because of the memory and the storage problems. I wasn't even working at the time. I did graduate college. I stopped because another reason why I stopped filming was because I tried to focus so much on my exams, college uni exams. This was my last year, my last semester, and whole of that month of May I was like, just F it, I need to focus on college. I did pass all of my exams except one. I did have to repeat one of them, and now it sucks so much because I never ever had to repeat any exams for any of my years for college. And literally the last fucking semester last year I had to repeat one, but it's all good. I passed all of them. I had a graduation. I mean, I'll actually might insert some pictures over here to show you guys. I love my graduation. Although that day was very crappy for me because I got into a fight with my mom, wasn't so good. All day I kept thinking oh my god, this day is meant to be about me, literally my graduation. And we ended up fighting about, I don't even remember about what really. It must have been something small, because it doesn't even mean, it's not even significant. Can't remember about what. And it's only now that I've started to get my life back on track with everything. I mean, there was a time where I did yoga for months, and I got so good at it in the sense that I could do splits, I could do all these weird stretchy things, and I loved it. And one thing that was actually on my bucket list for this year was to do a wall split, meaning that I'm standing on both of my feet and then I kind of stretch out the other one, and literally that's what I call a wall split. And yeah, for my graduation dress, I actually found it on sale. Literally, I think it was on the week before my graduation. I wasn't even planning on going to graduation. I didn't think it was that much of a big deal, honestly, because all it is really you get your diploma, you get on stage, and that's literally it. And because my college is kind of far away, so I had to commute 3 hours one way and then 3 hours back just for that. It just seemed a bit silly, you know. Right, so that's all bits and bobs that I can remember out of my head right now. Another bucket list, and another thing that was on my goals for this year was to travel somewhere that I've never been before. Okay, so hear me out. To me this was absolutely crazy, such a crazy idea, because like I haven't been anywhere apart from like Latvia, my home country. I live in Ireland, for those of you who don't know, and probably as close as I would get it to be even. Anyways, and for the longest time I wanted to go somewhere this year, but I didn't have anyone to go with me. And then one of my friends, I managed to get her to go to England with me, because that's the closest that there is to Ireland and it's the cheapest one. I didn't really care where to go, just like anywhere. And but like always, plans never go the way that they are meant to go, and she ended up going to Europe without me, just because she ended up going to Prague first, and then from Prague she literally ended up going to like to Germany, France, Korea, London, UK, just like all these countries. And I was just like, oh okay, I'll be fine on my own, thanks for inviting me though. And I couldn't go for that long because I obviously have work, and she's been traveling for like a month and a half. I would be able only to get like only for a few days really, because it's such a last minute thing. Anyways, and then what happened was I asked her what days she got her tickets to go back to like from Korea to France, which means from France she can get a bus to London. And so I knew the dates, and then I kind of calculated which days I'd be able to kind of get off work, and I managed to go for like Paris for like 24 hours, and London was like 48 hours plus or minus, you know. And I obviously ended up traveling on my own, like getting on planes and like back to like city center of like Paris and obviously London as well. And to me that was like the scariest thing, finding what transport to use on my own. Like I got anxiety so bad. It was so stressful, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And if you haven't traveled anywhere, like literally that's the best experience that you'll probably ever have, because like seeing the culture, the food, and just all the touristy places, like I love it. And Paris I think is definitely by far one of the nicest places that I've been to. Of course I've been only to few, like I've been to like 4 countries overall, but out of all those 4 countries I think Paris is just so magical. And that's the place where you feel like when you've lost all the hope and faith in life, you go and then you kind of like fall back in life, and with all the buildings and just it's just definitely just so magical. And I did manage to go to so many places in both countries. Like I know there wasn't a lot of time, I pretty much pulled all-nighters for these places to go, because my bus was early, so was my flight. It was really early in the morning. Like another thing that happened to me was, so I got lucky that I managed to go to 2 places I haven't been to before. Still have the same goal for next year to go somewhere that I've never been to. And I do have a plan to go to Italy with my best friend, and another place where I don't know how well these plans go, because at the same time they are just plans. Right, another thing was I was actually in a relationship. I have so much love for the guy, and it wasn't anything that he did in particular, but more of what I did was wrong. And funny enough, like I only understood that I effed it up only when things were over, and you know, you get wiser, and then you know all the things that you went wrong. Obviously I do think that it would have been pointless if we got back together straight away within like a week or even a few days after or something, because you're still the same people. You wouldn't have known where you went wrong, whereas when kind of months went by, you kind of understand where you effed it up, and things that you should have done, things that you didn't do, things that you didn't do enough. And So if I was to get back together with him, it just would make so much more sense of all these things, you know? Because in the first case, if you were to get back together with the person after a few days, it just means that you haven't matured, you haven't changed, you're still the same people. And then when time goes by, you almost understand one another a lot more, and you're not getting back together because you love one another or you miss one another, you know? And he was just like such a blessing in disguise, just like the nicest guy that I've ever met. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to like say apart of that. He'll always be just this great person, and he's just one of those people that if there's something wrong, like I'd be able to go down and talk to him, or just like ask for help or whatever. And I feel like he definitely helped me out no matter what. And if you are wondering, I am actually filming on my new phone. I did get a new phone, otherwise I wouldn't be able to film this. My other phone was just like driving me mental up the walls, honest to God. Right, so this is probably gonna get as nice as it can. As of right now, all I can do is literally just focus on me and just like trying to literally level up, and to just like level up. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is life, and I had a lot of like downs lately within like the last year and a half. It's only now that it's kind of getting better, and that's literally because I'm focusing on myself, me, myself, and I. You know how it goes. Kind of focusing on myself, like my job, you know, doing as much exercise as I can, because exercise, if you didn't know, has an endorphin, I think it's called, something that has a happy hormone in it, so you'll definitely feel a lot more happier, like little things really. One thing I'll tell you that has changed is my patience. Like, I'm no longer tolerating so much faux. I'm not even gonna finish the word, but you get me. I do not tolerate anything. I got no patience. I used to be so patient, I used to be so calm and so understanding, but at this stage I'm just like, my mindset has completely evolved. I'm just like, you did me the way that you did, and you had no excuse. You didn't care how I would feel, you just did not care. So I'm just like, okay. And yeah guys, actually, do you have any goals for 2020? I'm actually very excited for the fact that it's gonna be 2020, like, and I do feel like it's gonna be my year. Actually, something that me and my best friend have been talking about was how this year I just thought it was just such a difficult year for me. I just like, and at the start of 2019 I thought it was gonna be my year. You know, I went into 2019 in a no, I wasn't in a relationship, but I was kind of getting there. I was talking to this great boy. Yeah, things just didn't work out. I kind of said to her that I hate this year because it was just so many downs, and she said, I actually think this was your best year. So I said, what do you mean it was my best year? And she goes, you've actually matured so much, you learned and you became so much more wiser out of everything that's happened this year. And I said, actually, yeah, you're right about that. But in other sense, like there weren't a lot of good things that have happened to me, and even at that, I got a job. Obviously, that was I think great, and just so many experiences. And out of all of it, I have this amazing best friend by my side. Not just one, I've got two best friends. One of them is my long-term best friend, and the other one that I met in April, and like she's just so cute in so many ways, and I remember the first time that she met my boyfriend and she got so overprotective and she started telling him, now if you heard Anna. And that was just so cute. And then just like, I love people like that who get so overprotective of everything. This is, I think, great because it's dark outside and I won't even be able to make a nice photo of my makeup. Anyways, I actually forgot to tell you, but I'm going to 2 concerts. 2 so far. I actually don't know if I'm going to determine, but I wanted to get tickets for Dermot Kennedy, which is an Irish singer, and he sings Power Over Me, and I love that song. Yeah, Irish people are actually my favorite people. They're just so down to earth and just so nice and so polite. I love being in Ireland and living here. I love it. And then the other 2 concerts that I'm actually going to is the Script, again Irish group, and what else am I going to Picture This. I love Picture This, like, oh my gosh. And I do think like Irish singers and bands and stuff I think are my favorite. Like obviously the American and Canadian ones are great, but there's just so many Irish ones out there, and I'm just like, I'm so happy for that. You know, everyone's working so hard and Ireland is actually getting the recognition that it finally deserves. I mean, Ed Sheeran, he's kind of Irish, and I did actually go to Ed Sheeran concert back in 2015. I remember I had just graduated school and that was like my graduation present from my mom. So I mean, I got the ticket originally to go with my best friend and her sister, and I'm going to Picture This with my best friend and her sister again. I mean, they always end up going to Picture This together, and I mean, if I get to go, of course I'm gonna go. It's a concert, and I do think it's so much more rewarding when you actually end up spending your money hard, may I say, earned money on like memories rather than just like on things. Yeah, things are great, but like you can't take any of these things after this life, and you know, people remembering you after this life. I think that's so much better. Like no one's gonna say, oh yeah, she had a great couch, like the most expensive one. Like no one's gonna remember all these things, but everyone will remember you, the person that, you know, you were, all the memories and everything like that. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video.